Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bees in a Pod. I'm your host, Mo.
And I'm co-host Mash.
Today, we are blessed with the presence of Beatriz. Beatriz, who are you?
Wait, but the second time you started, you put me on the spot.
Okay. Beatriz is one of our young leaders. She's been doing amazing work supporting us in the Teviot Center for the last, eight months?
Yeah, since October.
8 months. That's almost a baby worth of time.
Yeah.
And she's also a part of Be Inspired, our young women's empowerment course, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take it back to the start. And also, side note for listeners, apologies, no face paint for me today. It's 28 degrees today. If you hear a fan going on in the background, I'm sorry. This is just going to be one of those episodes. We had everything go wrong before we started recording.
Yep.
Marwan, do you mind closing the window, please? So where did it all start, Beatrice?
So I started my health and social course in September, and I needed a place to do placement. I wasn't actually meant to come here. I had placement, then I didn't. Then I sort of ended up here. And yeah, I've been here ever since.
Where
we
we
got kind of blessed in a way.
We did. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. So
Yeah.
where were you gonna? When you said you weren't meant to be here, where were you meant to be?
At Mind, the charity.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I met a few people at Mind. In fact, I was at a meeting earlier today. We're part of this thing called Citizens UK.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a collective of organisations around the UK. But we're part of the town response. So there's some people from Mind there, and I've met quite a few people from Mind.
Yeah. What happened was the program was meant to start, and then it never did, and I needed my hours. So then
Leaders
yeah.
in community to
I
the
did
rescue.
do some meetings with them, but yeah,
They're awesome. So
they're really good.
why did you want to initially go for them?
Because when we first started in September, our teacher told us like, oh, this is places you can go, and then I looked at him and I was like, I like it, and it's to do with mental health, and that's what I want to do. So I really thought, oh, that would just be a place I'd be good at.
So when you say you want to do mental health, you want to focus on mental health.
Yeah, I want to be a mental health therapist.
Why?
I like helping people. I think that's the most obvious answer. But I like psychology as well and how the mind works and things like that. So I think I'd be a good therapist.
Oh, nice. So is there any? I mean, you don't have to. Don't divulge anything you don't want to.
Yeah.
But do you have any personal experiences, either with yourself or with friends, family, that kind of pushed you into really being interested in around mental health?
Yeah, I'd say family,
Mm.
but not as much. I think I've always been like very bubbly and stuff, good
Yeah.
at communicating with people. So I think that to be a therapist, they can't go to you and you just sit there in silence.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to get the person to open up and make them feel safe as well. So
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
reckon that? Okay. Before I was gonna say, do you think Be Inspired is helping you with some of your communication? Actually, let's go there. Do you think it's been helping with that kind of element of communicating?
yeah, I love the girls. I think we're such a good group. Howard, Job. I think I just love it. But I think recently, so we've had some interviews, and I think that helped a lot.
Amazing.
Because although I am good at communicating, sometimes if I'm put on the spot, I get a bit nervous. Even though I know I can do it, I just get a bit of that doubt. So yeah.
So let's go back to Mash. By the way, jump in. Cut me off. It's okay.
Yeah,
Cut
it's
me
alright.
off.
Mash is
Because I
sleeping.
love this topic. It
Yeah.
always hits home with me, like this topic.
We're gonna
Yeah.
circle back to mental health, but before we do, I really wanna touch on Be Inspired and your journey with Be Inspired, because when we were talking earlier, you were saying that when you first started doing your ads, you didn't even know we were offering
Yeah.
some of these kind of other services. So talk me through when you first joined Be Inspired, how you found it.
So I first joined. I saw a job around, and then one day he sat down and said, "Oh, we have sessions and stuff." I was like, I was a bit like unsure if it was something I wanted. But then when I met the girls, so he actually said to me, "Oh, come, we're having a dinner, come." And then when I met the girls, like, okay, like I saw that how together they were and how much fun they were having, and I was like, okay, this is something I want to join. So since then, I started.
Yeah, I remember your first session. I think
Yeah, I think it was they had a dinner to celebrate
Yeah,
something.
there
I
was
can't
a
remember what it
celebration
was.
day. I remember there was.
Yeah, that was my
celebration
first
day
time I
going
met
on.
the girls.
that's a great
Yeah,
time to
that's good.
join. When
Yeah,
there's a bunch
food.
of food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food's a big part of our sessions, you know.
Yeah.
So talk me through what kind of stuff do you do at Be Inspired? Because we're outsiders to Be Inspired. Although we work for leaders in
Yeah.
community, we're not in the young women's course. So tell me about it. Like, what do you guys do there?
So our first main goal when we started was, well, I started a bit later, but was to create so there was International Women's Day, so we had to create an event for it. So we created a safe space called Powered by Women. This was actually part two. So last year's group did it as well. But so we did a part two for young girls. We hosted it at the center. And we did bracelet making, natural product making. We had a space where we went into the hall and we sat down, put mats on the floor, and we just spoke about things that were like hard in society being a woman nowadays. And it was a safe space because there was only girls. So everyone spoke a little bit. We felt all very comfortable, and it was good for us, but also for the people that took part. I think we liked it as well because obviously you're a bit nervous, but it was so nice. I wish we had more time.
What makes it a safe space for you? Other than that, you're surrounded by your sisters.
Yeah.
What else makes it a safe space?
Knowing that you're not going to be judged and that if you need help, they're going to be there to help you. I think that's very important.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how did you find kind of setting up that event?
Stressful. Nah, I was in so much stress. That was crazy.
I saw her live in action, man. The bags, the gift bags.
Yeah, the gift
everything.
bags,
She
I
was
did
going,
them. Yeah,
She was going.
that was the part I most
That was
liked.
such a good idea. So
Yeah.
give some context. Remember, people are going to listen to this who have no
yeah.
idea what we're talking
So
about.
we had to put together a gift bag for the girls that were coming. And it was either we could buy stuff or we could get it locally by people that are local to us. So I got in contact with Sabina. So she comes to the center, and she does natural soaps and oils as well. So I was like, if you could do samples for us to put in the gift bags, that would be perfect. So she did them. They're so good. So we had that in the gift bag. We also had scrunchies that she made as well. She knitted them. What else did we have in there? We had candles, stickers as well, like International Women's Day stickers. We had some other things in there that I'm not gonna remember, but yeah. So we kept it kind
Yeah.
of local and woman because
That's
she's a
amazing.
woman. So yeah.
That's amazing. So you proper stuck with. It was literally like. I love the name as well. I know you guys didn't come up. Did you
Yeah.
guys come up with the
No,
name?
it wasn't
It's
us.
from last year's cohort.
Last year, yeah,
It's such a great name because
Yeah,
it
it is.
was powered by women.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table. I have a really bad habit. I'm sure if you go through all the episodes, you just see me adjusting my mic
Yeah.
constantly. That's sick. So, how did you feel by the end of it?
Oh, I was like, job done because
Yeah.
I was tired because I was here all day because obviously I volunteer on Wednesday, so I was here ready in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it helped because otherwise we would have been in such a rush because the girls had left school and stuff, so we would have only been able to set up after. So it was
Okay.
good because I got all the decoration done. Me and Nika came early as well. Fahima.
We're gonna do another podcast with Nika and Ikram.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna take over as the bees, and they're gonna
Ooh,
they're gonna
We're getting
interview.
replaced.
Yeah, we're getting replaced, and they're gonna interview Hawa.
Oh, okay.
Also, let's talk about Hawa because Hawa needs a lot of love.
of appreciation. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's incredible.
She is.
So Hawa, for context, Hawa Power, as she's also known, is the power. So she will be a guest on our podcast very soon. But she's been working with leaders in community for a long time, 15 years plus, I think, for a very long time. And when I was a young person at LIC, I worked with Hawa.
She said the other day, last
Yeah.
session, she said that
Ha-
she's known you for ages.
Hawa was a big part of my development at LIC, and yeah, she does amazing work. So she's so talented. She was a singer. She was like I think she was in Top of the Pops. I'm not sure if you remember that. It was like an old program where it was like kind of the top songs. So she hit the charts basically with one of her songs.
Oh wow.
So she's a bit of a legend in that sense. She does voice acting. She does acting. She does meditation, well-being, yoga.
Natural products,
like coaching, life coaching.
Yeah.
I wonder how she fits it all in, or she finds the time of day to manage everything that she does.
She's amazing. And at the moment, she's been supporting us with Be Inspired and supporting your group.
Yeah.
Let's give Hawa some love. Tell me about how you found Hawa.
First of all, I think she's a person that makes you feel comfortable. Like, I don't know what it is about her, but you could talk to her for hours. She's so nice and she's funny.
She is funny.
She's really funny. I think she just, she's positive. Like she lifts up the mood. Whatever she is, when she enters the room, she's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she brings life with her.
Yeah.
Like even just how she's dressed,
Yeah.
right? She's always so colorful.
Her hair as well.
Yeah. So
Everything. Yeah.
she definitely brings a great aura to be inspired.
100%.
So let's talk through the rest of Be Inspired. So you've done Powered by Women. What else do you guys? So what kind of elements? What kind of stuff do they teach you?
Okay, so interview skills.
Okay.
So that was the last thing we did most recently. And we actually did an interview with BNP Paribas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was a good opportunity for us. We went to the London Stock Exchange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was really good. I was so judgy of it, but then I was like, when I got there, I was like, oh, job was right. Yeah, it was really good.
What
really
did
good.
Job tell you?
He was like, although it's like money and stuff and finance, and I was like, I hate maths. I hate that stuff. He was like, no, but you should go. There's other departments. There's lots of things to learn. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, and I actually really liked it.
What do you like about it?
I like that although it's like money related, it wasn't. There's more to it because that's something I'm not interested in at all. Because I absolutely hate maths.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Like I actually have. If there's, you know how there's dyslexia, there must
Yeah.
be a maths word. I have that.
We need to find somewhere we can
need
get
to find
diagnosed,
it.
man.
I want to get diagnosed. It's not normal.
You know what? It's funny as well. Don't quote me on this. I think we need some research. Marwan, do some research on this to double check it. But I'm pretty sure the UK, particularly with young people within people within a certain age bracket, we rank the lowest in terms of math skills when we're growing up. I might be wrong about that, but I remember hearing about some studies, or at the very least, if it's not the worst skilled, it's definitely the subject people like the least.
I think
I've
it's
never
like
liked
the
it.
least sounds about
Yeah.
right. So I don't think anyone. I mean, me growing up, there's a certain like period. I think in primary school that you have a love for it a little bit. You actually enjoy it, and then I think secondary onwards, it becomes what's that, unbearable almost. Like,
becomes
oh, what are you
dreadful.
doing? It's actually
When there's letters
it
involved.
actually
Why is
looks
there letters
scary.
involved?
Yeah, that
Isn't it
so
meant to
when
be
it's only
numbers?
numbers, you're loving
Yeah.
it, you're enjoying it,
Yeah.
and then secondary and then college. Yeah, they
Yeah.
throw in.
I'm so glad I passed. If I had to resit it, oh my
questions.
god.
So with so you went to the London Stock Exchange. You're doing interview skills. Do you feel a bit more prepared?
Yeah.
for interviews now?
The interview that I did, I didn't actually get in, but I felt so comfortable. Like I wasn't nervous or anything. And
Good.
I think when you're not in silence, because if you're in silence, it's like, oh my god, someone needs to speak. And I didn't have that, so I was very proud. Regardless of the results, I was very proud of myself.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know what? I definitely feel that's a uniqueness that LIC has. Because for me, right, when I was a young person, because I was reflecting on this recently, is LIC puts young people through a program where you are comfortable being in the room with someone who has a position of power or authority.
Yeah.
Right? You have an air of like, because you're exposed to it, you're taught how to, firstly, you're taught about your self-worth in terms of like what you can do and what you can affect, and also like you've got your personal skills and confidence, because that definitely helped me a lot, like when I was younger. Yeah, it's a uniqueness that I see. Okay, so personal skills, and what's upcoming? Are you coming towards the end of the course now, or
No, so I'm end of first year, yeah.
okay,
And then going into year 13.
amazing.
And then hopefully uni, who knows?
What's your aspirations for uni?
I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do it in London or outside. We was talking about this the other
Yeah,
day.
we were.
So I'm a bit unsure of what I should do. But I think as I go forward, I'll have a bit more of like solid decision.
Still want to do something around mental health.
Yeah, I want to psychology. Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Obviously, I'm open to it, but I don't know.
I think you'd make a great psychologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
I
therapist.
think
I love doing therapy sessions with you. I think you make everyone like honestly be able to have a conversation and speak up. I think you have that energy and aura about you to be able to just talk.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, though. If I couldn't, then it's like you don't want to have a therapist that you can't talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mash, did you have some? You said that mental health is like. So I realize I can't talk to Mash and look at him. I was like, do you have any questions or like segues around mental health that we can talk about with Beatrice?
I mean, it hits home and it's personal because I had I went through sessions, and at first I was shy about, oh my gosh, how do I approach um the topic, and then how do I approach the actual therapist, and you know I was so anxious about the whole process behind, being able to open up and speak to someone you have no, you don't know who they are, they don't know you. But I think that has something to do with the whole point of therapy as well. It's not having a kind of personal relationship or like family or friend. It's someone completely unknown to you. They're a professional in what they do, and they have certain abilities that just make you open up and speak without you even knowing how deep you're going. And that's how it was. The first session for me, it was like I spoke about things that I've never mentioned in my life to anyone, that was affecting me, and it just the conversation just came out, and without her having to utter a word, and I was just like, wow,
Mm.
this is amazing. Yeah, those sessions were the first time in my life I was able to actually open up and really speak about mental health, and that's why it's always hitting home, and it's so important for people who they feel like they got no one to speak to or turn to. Maybe actually look for therapists and professionals, and because they're the kind of safe spaces you need in order to actually be able to have conversations, that you're holding in. Because when it's someone like you end up knowing, when it's a family or a friend, it just is so difficult because you don't know what the reaction is going to be. You have no idea what they're going to say, if they're gonna relate, or if they're even gonna make fun of you, from for what you're opening up with. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah. Do you think mental health? I mean, what's your take with mental health and young people and in schools right now? Because obviously we're old,
Mm-hmm.
so mental health for us is different, and mental health amongst our age group and in our, when you're in school, the access to mental health you have as a young person is very different than when you're an adult and you're at work and you have different kinds of access to mental health. It's very different. The barriers and situations are different. How do you find it right now in terms of access to mental health support in schools, and generally as a young person?
I think it's quite strong. Like
Yeah.
we're always having talks about it. Something someone's always mentioning something. But I think being a teenager is difficult. The time of adolescence is just so hard. I think that itself is something that everyone needs support with. Like the change from being a teenager into being an adult is huge. Like I'm getting this. So I turn 18 this year, and I already see it. Sometimes I catch myself thinking, "Wow, like you're so grown." And it's just weird because the other day I was like, I don't know, just young and had like couldn't wait to be 18, and now like in November I turn 18, so it's like, oh wow, like I can drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very weird. I think we need a lot of support, not just from a professional. I think more at home. I think parents need to be a bit more understanding sometimes.
yeah.
I think that's a big challenge, especially when you're kind of person of color. Um, Typically, this is kind of generalizing, but culturally, a lot of us, our parents don't have the same understanding of mental
Yeah.
health as we do.
Mm.
And funnily enough, like, especially when you get older and you start looking at different family members, you start realizing, oh, this person has like severe anxiety issues.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed that in some of my family members. And, you know, it's like, wow, like the way they're moving, it's like, it's
They
so,
just dismiss it and
yeah,
oh, they're just crazy or
yeah, they're
yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah.
It's not, everyone needs a bit of proper support.
Mm.
Um, Oh, that's good to hear that there's definitely support in schools. Um, yeah. So you want to go to uni, right? And you're
Yeah.
still deciding in or out.
Yeah.
What are some of your deciding factors?
Um
And sorry, before that, actually, why do you want to go uni?
Okay, so I want to be a mental health therapist, and I don't think there's a way around it without actually going to uni. So there's not much options,
Okay.
and I don't really see myself doing anything else. So that's why I really want to go. And even if I don't become a mental health therapist, there's so many things you can do with psychology.
Yeah.
So it's just
It's true.
it brings like safety in terms of money and growing up. Yeah.
is that a priority? So in terms of if how would you rank, like, let's say your top 3 reasons for going to uni?
Ooh. I think second most important reason for going to uni. I think so because I'm not interested really in the uni experience,
Yeah.
any of that. Like I just want to settle down, get a house. Like that's all I want. Like I don't really,
Man, she sounds older
and I
than
want a
us.
job. I need a
Seriously.
job. I really need a job.
Well, if any employers are out there listening, holler us.
Yeah.
Beatrice has an amazing CV. We can vouch for her. She's done amazing work here the last. Honestly, how have you found working out in the front of the center for the last 8 months?
Oh yeah, I really like it. I thought I'd struggle a bit because obviously I'm the only young person here during the day, but no, I fit right in.
You
Yeah,
And
really do.
everyone's really nice here. You guys are really nice.
I vouch for
Mash
that.
helped me a lot in the
She
beginning.
was, yeah, she
Yeah, me
started
and
off with
Mash
me.
was
We started it
yeah,
off, man. That journey was,
yeah. Then he left.
man, she killed it, bro. She absolutely killed it at work.
Have you found what have been some of your highlights of kind of working out front and supporting LIC in that kind of way?
Um, wait, sorry, repeat that.
What have been your highlights, like with your placement with us in the last
Oh,
eight
okay.
months?
I think being in an environment where I get to learn a lot, like I'm always learning something new. I think when you're just at school, you don't learn. Like you learn, obviously, but not with the experience. Now I have experience, like, and being with the community and you guys as well. I learn a lot every day, 100%. Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky to ask, but would you ever have been uh, interested or had an opportunity to get involved with the community in this way had you not come to do a placement with us?
Oh no, no.
That's interesting.
I didn't actually know about Teviot before I actually joined. So
Did it change your What was your perception of like community work and community centers before you came to LIC?
I thought it was like all on the surface, like no one really actually cared. But now I see that it's not like there's so much effort put into being a community and working in a community. Like now I see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
Yeah.
much it's more difficult than people think it is.
it is. It
Because
is.
most, like, sorry for cutting you. You did tell me. I think
I
that you-
did.
But a lot, I've noticed that a lot of it is background work. There's so much
Mm.
behind the scenes, and that's what goes missing, and like that's what isn't appreciated enough. Like all the stuff, everyone who's involved, there's so much that happens, that isn't in front of you. So like when you visually see something happening, for let's take an event for example. When you see an event happening, you're always quick to like, oh yeah, let's see what kind of games they have. Let's see, what's there to buy, or what can we get involved in. Everyone just rushing around to kind of see, yeah, how fun the event is. No one actually then considers that there was a planner there involved. There was all the staff finding who to go to, who to get, who to bring about. Like no one ever thinks about that. You're always looking at the end product, and I think that's what a lot of community work is. Being in the center is so much thought, planning goes, and it's always working behind the scenes to make the end product amazing for the community. And that's why we're not recognized enough, or we might feel undervalued or underappreciated, because we're doing everything in the background, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ungratefulness as well.
Mm,
Like I think people are too quick to complain instead of seeing the effort and the love
yeah.
put into it. I think there's a lot of love involved.
Yeah. What,
Yeah.
what what have you found most challenging?
Oh, I think sometimes when people ask me questions that I don't have the answers to, because although I'm here a lot, there's obviously stuff that I don't know or that I can't help the person with. I think that's yeah.
Mm. And do you have any questions for us that you want to put us on the spot?
Oh, so how long have you been at LIC for?
I joined as a young person, so I
Oh,
joined. People ask me that, and I find it hard to answer. So I joined LIC when I was 12.
okay.
I'm 28 now,
Oh wow.
but I started doing freelance work with them. So, like what you guys kind of randomly, we try and give you guys paid opportunities. Started doing that sort of stuff when I was 16, and then I got a part-time job when I was in 2016. I don't remember how old I was. I think I must have been 17 or 18 or 19. 19. I think it was when I first started
That was
uni.
like 8 years ago.
Yeah, when I first started uni. Yeah, Mash,
No,
what about
no one saw that. Um, I've actually not been here for too long. I would say February 2022 was when I started off. Um, yeah, so I know it was beginning of the year, and when I started off, it was kind of like straight into the deep end. There was so much going on at the time. Like you didn't have enough to wrap your brain around what was going on. You just kind of had to get involved in everything. There's so many things. One week I think there was like just back to back events and so on.
yeah.
Like, and it was just yeah, it was manic, but at the same time sometimes I like getting thrown into the deep end because you actually learn more and you test yourself and you realize how, how much how much skills you have beneath the surface, like when you're under pressure. Sometimes I feel like when you're under pressure it shows like your level of character and like your discipline and your work ethic and everything about you. So sometimes I do prefer it, like I do like being under pressure and having that workload. Then you can get it sorted, um and then hopefully you get a nice little break and a breather. But I've known in LIC they don't have that time to breathe, unfortunately. Like,
We are busy. We're busy
yeah,
bees.
busy bees,
Yeah.
busy bees.
So Beatrice, um, I guess one of the final things I wanted to touch on is kind of less about you at LIC and more as you as a young person. Um, to keep us kind of up to date in terms of what are your biggest concerns right now? Because you said you're turning 18 this year.
Yeah.
That's to become an adult. What are your what things you're worried about in terms of or
M-
anxious about?
Money. I think
Money.
more worried about money, yeah. Stuff is so expensive nowadays. Like it's scary having to grow up. Like obviously my parents aren't gonna help me forever, so I have to fend for myself in a way. So that I think is scary. I think for everyone.
In what element? Like as in like making money?
No, as in like things are so expensive
Yeah.
that like I might have a job but I'll still not have enough. Like
Mm.
houses, rent, no.
It really comes down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are there any kind of um any, maybe not maybe just for you specifically, but kind of with your friends and stuff, what kind of issues do you see young people are kind of have are basically heading into, like as they're like, you're looking at it.
I think the decision between going to uni and being in debt or getting a job and then having no qualification, I think now that is
Mm.
a big one.
It's a tough one.
I
Yeah.
relate to that one. Sorry again. Because I noticed one thing typically with young people is some of them they really love to jump at the chance to get a part-time job whilst they're studying. One of the things that they end up falling into is when they get that first pay and that little bit of money comes in, they're like, wow, this feels amazing. And then what they'll typically do is they'll try and like put more shifts in or try and do more work and try and make more money. And they kind of end up neglecting their studies. Um, but but it's the thought of making that money and actually physically having that money and knowing that you've done it for yourself. You didn't go to mom or dad, be like, ask for a five, or you made that money yourself, so you're proud of it. And then but then you end up neglecting kind of more of your future prospects and giving yourself a better chance a little later on. So for example, if you've done like spent 2 3 years more establishing yourself, building your portfolio and your CV, and then giving yourself a little bit of time to then have a better opportunity at getting a better, more stable career that earns you more money rather than just focusing on the little pennies. Because trust me, in the long run, like though what you earn at that short time, it will feel like peanuts compared to what you can potentially earn, once you've
Yeah,
made
but
something
you
of
still,
yourself.
like you're saying, there's still that fear of you've earned all this money and you can't afford to
Mm.
buy anything still. So I hear that. The last thing to end it off, what are you hopeful for?
Oh, as in for me personally, right? Or
In
anything.
whatever way you interpret it.
Okay. I'm hopeful to get married.
Nice.
and have kids, have a family. Yeah,
Is that an important thing
yeah,
for you?
that keeps me going 100%.
Why?
I think one, the world is ending, so you never know.
Yeah.
But I think there's no fun in being alone. Like obviously there is. You're meant to like your own company and stuff. But I feel like at the end of the day, you want someone. Like you want to have that. You want to be secure. Not that you have to have families be secure, but I think for me, in what I believe in, my values and my morals, I think that's a very big factor for me.
Do you think the world is set up in a way that is easy for you?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a bit more difficult now because it's so you can get married later, like focus on like your career and stuff, and I agree with that, but I think it's individual to every person. Like if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna get a job then, and I'll like think of getting married. But now I think it's a thing where my mindset has changed.
Has the camera gone off? Yeah, apologies to listeners for this slight hiccup.
It just sums up the day.
Yeah.
It's been a terrible start, terrible finish now.
Use any card. Use any card.
At least the middle was good.
This has been all going wrong.
I'm gonna keep all of this in, by the way,
It's all wrong.
because it was a bit awkward to kind of cut there. But you know what? That was such a great answer. Are we filming? Hello, everyone. We're back. We're back. Yeah, that's a lovely answer. We're gonna wrap up this episode. Beatrice, thank you
before I
so
say
much
anything.
for
Thank you for having me.
yeah, thank you for stepping in last minute. This was a very, very nice conversation, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Who knows?
Maybe like after you've done your first year of uni.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
touch base again and just see
And
how
then
you found
see
it.
what's changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you'll be married by then.
Who knows?
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Beatrice.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Bees in a Pod. I've been your host, Mo.
I've been your co-host, Mash.
And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and hit us up if you want to learn more. Check us out on Instagram at Leaders in Community. And if you want to find out what kind of opportunities we have, please sign up to our newsletters. Just drop us an email, info@leadersincommunity.org. Thank you for listening.